New information indicates there were only 2 explosions at the finish line of the Boston Marathon, and no unexploded bombs were found.
Make no mistake, an act of cowardice and of this severity cannot be justified or explained. It can only be answered.
Well, we have live team coverage for you, including Sally Hernandez at ABIA, but we begin with Jay Gray, who has the latest from Boston. Jay?
Hey there, good afternoon. Police and federal agents continue their work in and around the blast site right now as the search for a potential motive and suspects in this case intensifies here.
More than 10 square blocks are still locked down in the heart of the city this afternoon as investigators continue to sift through debris, searching for answers.
We are in the process of securing and processing the most complex crime scene that we've dealt with in the history of our department.
For now, investigators won't discuss specifics about the explosive devices that triggered 2 violent blasts, killing 3 people, including 8-year-old Martin Richard, who died just after seeing his dad cross the finish line at the marathon.
This was a heinous and cowardly act, and given what we now know about what took place, the FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism.
The search for suspects led to this suburban apartment in Revere, Massachusetts overnight, where investigators removed bags of potential evidence. Agents won't discuss what they found and say there's no suspect in custody right now. One reason, officers warn, there will be visible, stepped-up security across the city for the foreseeable future. Doctors continue to work around the clock as well. More than 100 victims are still in area hospitals, many with severe wounds from shrapnel that doctors say was added to the devices to maximize the carnage.
This bomb had multiple metallic fragments in them, and we removed pallets and nails.
One of several factors pushing investigators to find the person or people responsible.
We will go to the ends of the earth to identify the subject or subjects who are responsible for this despicable crime, and we will do everything we can to bring them to justice.
An investigation that continues to grow just a day after the attack.
And public input will be a major part of that investigation. Today, police continued their pleas for any pictures, video, or other substantial evidence from those who were around the finish line at the time of the blast. Live in Boston, I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
And our live team coverage continues with Sally Hernandez at Austin's airport, where a flight from Boston arrived about 45 minutes ago. Sally?
Hi, Brian. Yeah, that flight, JetBlue, a direct flight from Boston, landed around 11:15, a little earlier today. It was a full flight. As we mentioned, all morning long, there were more than 200 Central Texans taking part in that marathon in Boston yesterday. And some of those runners were on this flight. You could tell that they were runners from that marathon because some of them did still have their running shirts on from the marathon that they got yesterday. But I could also tell you that I could tell which ones were there just simply by the look on their faces. A lot of these people coming down from the stairs after landing here in Austin still had a very somber look, shocked look to their face. One guy stood out specifically to me in the crowd, and it's because I asked him, were you there at the marathon? And he said, yes, I was a block away from where these explosions happened. I was there cheering on a runner. We're from San Antonio, and the way he describes it to us, I have to warn you, it is graphic, but it gives you an idea of what he saw and what he heard as he tells us with tears in his eyes. Listen.
I was a block away. I was expecting him to run through the finish line at that time from the first blast, and at that time, like, I heard the blast, I turned around, there was smoke, there was people on the floor, there were people falling, so I ran towards that street looking for him, and I couldn't find him. We didn't see each other after like 2.5 hours. Like, it was horrible. It was a horrible experience, I saw people's bodies on the floor, limbs. It was bad.
Daniel and his friends from San Antonio are okay, but a lot of the people around them in the crowd in the marathon running were not okay. They're on their way to San Antonio today and telling me that they feel very thankful that they got out okay, that they're going home and that everything is okay with them, but they still have those memories that they have to live with as this investigation continues to unfold. That is the only direct flight that we know of from Boston. But Josh Hinkle was also here, and he spoke to one of the runners directly who was in that marathon, and he's going to have more coverage tonight at 5, 6, and 10, and then always on KXAN.com as well. Brian, back to you.